for Developer Month at FSElite, we were told to write short pieces on our favorite developers. Developers that have greatly affected the way we play our flight sims. Now, personally, I had a difficult time making this decision. On the one hand, I had A2A. Whilst I only have 3 of their add-ons, they easily make the best planes available for FSX. On the other hand, there was Integrated Sim Avionics. While not the fanciest add-on, it definitely changed the way I play the game. It did give me the ability to learn the ways of the airlines before investing in a full payware aircraft. However, as I really thought about it, I noticed that there was one add-on developer who produces more add-ons that I own than any other. This developer's reputation is sadly not the best either, something I think is a bit unfair. I had been thinking of writing a piece on them for a while now, something to give them some credit, a thing that they rarely get. Would you kindly sit back and let me tell you some things about Carenado? When it comes to visual quality, Carenado is second to none. All of their aircraft feature beautiful texturing and model quality. For the past few years, Carenado's add-ons have all had full 3D knobs, HD textures, and attention to detail that is unmatched. Even their older add-ons, while not up to the current quality standard, are still very good looking for their age. Carenado also models visuals on planes that most others don't bother with, from pulsating landing lights to a small green glow you get it when you hover over the knobs. That latter one allows you to clearly see which knob you are manipulating, a feature that I absolutely love. And when the sun goes down, the lights come on. External lighting is fantastic on most of Carenado's more recent add-ons. External lights really light up the world and the aircraft. The internal lighting is great too. Some planes give you full control over panel backlighting, gauge lighting, display brightness, and floodlights. And the floodlights on some of the planes even feature coloration to be easier on the eyes. The sound is almost as good as the visuals. Every switch has a click. The sound pack on most of their add-ons, including the recent ones, are great. The sound design really brings you into the simulation, from the subtle hum of the fuel pumps to the purr of the engines. The sounds are fully directional and are usually mixed very well. Carenado aircraft are usually regarded as pretty but useless. While this may be true of their older aircraft, the newer ones are far from useless. Most aircraft feature working systems, and while not all systems are 100%, the ones you really need are there. TIS, TOS, navigation, etc. One of my favorite features that I've only seen Carenado do, and no one else, is the ability to program a flight plan into your GPS without having to import the PLN file. This is exactly how you would do this IRL. It does, however, make use of the built-in navigation data, so it lacks the ability to load SIDs or stars, but given the types of aircraft Carenado model, I don't see this as an issue. It's really very rare that you would fly a SID or star in these aircraft. If, however, updatable navigation data is a must for you, then they got you covered. The C90 and the Beech 350i both come with fully functional ProLine 21 avionics suite, featuring SIDs, stars, and even RF leg types.
Cessna 775, contact Jacksonville approach on 124.4.
Approach getting air, short final, caution way turbulence.
Clear to land, runway.
As for flight model, it's there. I have put multiple Carenado aircraft through my normal flight test and they all performed. Whilst not up to the same level of fidelity as A2A aircraft, Carenado planes did well. Slow flight, stalls, high altitude, even spins. To be honest, they are not perfect, no, far from it. But I have never encountered an airplane that is perfectly representative of the real thing. Given that most of the time you're flying point to point and are trying to avoid spins and stalls, I don't really see it as a big deal if a plane is not 100% on the flight model. Their 172 flies like a 172. Their 206T flies like a 206T. Honestly, I found all their aircraft to perform as expected with no real glaring faults in the flight model. Wheels, skis, or floats. Standard version or cargo version. Cabin layout A or cabin layout B. A lot of Carenado's add-ons have the ability for the user to customize the aircraft as they want. Limited to not just the visual model, aircraft using Carenado's G1000 have several selections available for the displays, different wind depiction modes, and different track directions. And I'll be honest, I believe Carenado was doing this long before other devs were. I do remember their Cessna 172N featuring the option to go with or without gear fairings, and that thing came out years ago. Now, don't get me wrong, Carenado is not perfect. In fact, they are far from it. A lot of the stuff I've talked about today is not cheap. The Cessna 172N is one package, and then for the float and ski variants that will require two separate purchases. The Cessna 208 is standalone, but if you want the Cargo Master version, that's an additional purchase and requires the 208 standalone package. They also have a bad habit of releasing planes early with bugs, then following up with a patch only a few days later, as opposed to releasing a competent product from the get-go. Throw in separate purchases and rebuys for Prepare 3D and the lack of quality documentation, Carenado's got some problems. I will not pretend that they don't. Which is sad, as to be perfectly honest, they make good add-ons, and they are not as bad as people make them out to be. Now, the reason I chose Carenado as my dev of choice for Dev Month is, as I looked at the add-ons that really matter to me, I noticed that I own more Carenado airplanes than any other. That could be from the fact Carenado often models airplanes that no other dev does. And I'm well aware of Carenado's reputation in the sim community. Pretty but useless. Honestly, I think that's unfair. While it's true they are not A2A or PMDG, they are not Abacus either. A lot of people often worry about the complex systems or physics of the add-ons they are considering to buy. I have since stopped worrying about those little details, for the simple reason that we've seen people have fun and enjoy their time in the game even with default aircraft. A lot of players are always looking to show off their skill in the most complex airlines with full automation, and I can't help but shake my head when I see those same players unable to handle a default aircraft on a simple cross-country VFR flight. Carenado to me doesn't come across as a bad developer, but instead as a developer who knows what's important. A developer that's kind of misunderstood. I've said it plenty of times before, some systems serve no purpose. Why go through the trouble of modeling them when dummy switches will work? Carenado is not going anywhere, and I firmly believe we will see them producing good airplanes for all simulators going forward. Remember, they were one of the first FSX devs to start making X-Plane add-ons. The point of this month is to honor developers who we really like, who have changed the way we fly in our chosen sim. And there's no way Carenado doesn't fit that bill with me. I fly their add-ons way more than any other developers, even A2As, and they have consistently gotten better as they go. To me, Carenado has solidified themselves as a capable and competent developer, and I just wanted to give them the praise that they so rarely get and so much deserve. The TBM 850 was my most recent Carenado purchase, and just to say my thoughts on it, good job, Carenado. Looking forward to your next aircraft.